Hello and welcome for another episode of Ask Reddit. For today's episode, would you rather be the best at speaking every language, or be the best at playing every instrument? Why?
Instrument, as music is a universal language anyway, and I also prefer arts over social engagement.
Yes, but can you order a pizza in Italy while playing the guitar?
Turns out to be surprisingly easy to order pizza in any language in Italy.
How do you say pizza in Italian? Pizza. How do you say pasta? Pasta. Wow, Italian is so easy.
Can't believe how far down the instrument choice is. If I'm the best, and I assume that isn't just mechanical ability, but includes understanding and composing, then think about how much music you could write and play. I guess most people don't value music as much as I do.
Exactly. By being the absolute best in the world for all instruments, surely you can make a name for yourself easily. Speaking all languages will land you an Ellen, and a good translating job. Being a superstar, however, it'll make you millions. Just start a YouTube channel and do daily uploads on different instruments. A series on guitar, bass and drumming to start.
The best at every instrument, meaning I'm actually the most skilled musician of every instrument in the world. That is infinitely more valuable than whatever the best at every language means. I could hire private tutors and translators with all the cash I'd be rolling in. You all are imagining I'd use music skills to be in a crappy pop or rock band. You have any idea how much you'd be paid to be the premier instrumentalist in the best symphony orchestra in the world, and being able to switch to any instrument needed? You pick languages and there's no way you're not working for a government somewhere dealing with confidential info every day. You can go right ahead and pick that one.
This is the obvious answer: you'd be a global superstar. Being one of the best at a single instrument will already make you famous. If you were the best at every instrument, you would be the single most famous musician, possibly person on the face of the earth. Anyone who thinks that somebody that is so intimately familiar with every aspect of music, that they can flawlessly play every instrument that has ever been invented in any style imaginable, couldn't also sit down and write incredible music, is pretty delusional.
Not always. There are lots of virtuoso musicians who may at best fill up a small nightclub or concert hall. There are exceptions, of course, but generally, the mass global audience doesn't actually value high-caliber musicianship as much as simple songs, often written and produced by other people, and performed by somebody else who is good-looking and can sing and dance with the help of auto-tune and backup singers and dancers. Instrument. I am scared of social interaction.
Instruments are great to learn, if you're averse to social interaction.
Also great to learn if you're highly social and want fans the world over. I don't think people realize the significance of this premise. You'd be the very best in the world at every musical instrument. Better than Hendrix, Page, Clapton, SRV, Chuck Berry, David Gilmour, Van Halen, Prince, Mark Knopfler, etc. at the guitar. Better than Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin, Debussy, Thelonious Monk, Keith Jarrett, Duke, Art Tatum, and every 9-year-old prodigy ever at piano. Better than Miles at the trumpet and Coltrane at the sax. Better than Gene Krupa, Stuart Copeland, John Bonham, Danny Carey, Neil Peart, Buddy Rich, etc. at the drums. Better than Les Claypool, Jaco Pastorius, Mingus, Bootsy Collins, Wooten, Cliff Burton, Betty Lee at the bass. All at the same time. You could easily make it as a studio or live session musician, but if that musical ability came with a bit of songwriting/compositional talent/luck, then you could release some of the greatest music ever. Nobody who has a legitimate discography of some of the greatest music ever remains a nobody for long, especially in the age of the internet. Obviously, one could make an argument that songwriting ability matters far more than raw musicianship, and that person would probably point to artists like the Beatles and Kurt Cobain, who were far from the greatest musicians of their respective ages, or any age, but still managed to write timeless, classic, hit music. But raw musicianship can still go a long way in allowing one to manifest one's creativity.
I like how from this comment I can tell you have a very good taste in music.
Every language, because I would dress like C-3PO and mess with people.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I came here to say every language, but my reason for choosing this pales in comparison to this.
This is possibly the geekiest reason to be good at languages ever. And I applaud you for it. As a professional translator with musical aspirations, this is one of the hardest questions for me. Obviously, the languages would make me the most useful person in the office and I'd be set for life, but being able to play every instrument has been a dream of mine since I was a kid, and it would allow me to make all the music I've always wanted to. But didn't know anyone with the right skills and interests.
I'm also a translator with musical aspirations. You said it way better than I did. Could we split the difference and be the best at 10 important languages and 10 important instruments?
You two need to meet up and make a band called Lost in Translation. Just saying.
Speak every language so I could travel the world. I know I can travel without knowing every language. I just meant it would be easier to do so if I could communicate with everyone, okay? Since people keep replying, I'll just explain myself here. I'm a big people person and love talking to people, so I'd love to be able to go to another country and talk to locals with ease and be able to go past the typical basic conversations. I think it would also help me get to know various cultures better. On a side note, I consume a lot of shows and music from other cultures, and even with translations, I miss out on a lot of meaning. Learning more languages would give me more perspective. Less barriers between me and the world. So I guess, me wanting to speak every language well goes past my initial travel reasoning. Now please give me a break. I wrote that comment at 4 a.m.
If you're the best at every instrument, doors will certainly open for you to travel the world. Oh my god, please stop responding to this. I put little to no thought into my comments this morning, and forgot I even left them. Now I keep getting notifications. I sincerely don't care about this. Well, I don't know what I expect.
Language. If it's every language, it means I could speak dead languages and translate some of the oldest texts in the world. That would be super cool.
I picked the language option all the way. Imagine all the old texts you could translate.
Why would you want to translate old texts?
To learn their secrets, Ted. To gain their wisdom. Imagine if we could decipher Da Vinci's writings.
We can and we have. He wrote in Italian. Also he made lots of diagrams, so?
Well, I'm not talking about his regular writings, I'm talking about his code. You know, the ancient code of Da Vinci.
James, if you knew all the instruments you'd be the best musician in the world. You'd be insanely rich and famous. Who gives about some old code?
Oh Ted. You simple, naive, unworldly son of. You don't think the person who knows the most languages in the world would be more rich and famous than some clarinet sucker? You think diddling some violin is going to impress people more than telling them to F off in Mandarin?
People tell you to F off in Mandarin every time we eat at a Chinese restaurant.
And I've been impressed every time.
Look, I can prove that you'd be more famous as a musician. Let me ask you this. Who's the best musician in the world?
Bieber.
Right. So, wait, what? No, it's not Justin Bieber.
People like the Biebs.
Sure, he's famous. But I'm thinking like Michael Jackson. You know what? It doesn't matter. The point is, you know who Justin Bieber is. Now, do you know who speaks the most languages?
Zied, Feza, obviously.
Who the hell is that?
Don't act like you don't know the great Feza, Ted.
That can't be right. Alexa. Who speaks the most languages in the world?
Obviously the great Ziad Fazar. Ted, you simple naive unworldly son of.
Did you program her to say that?
This is the way.
What the hell is Da Vinci's code anyways? If it's a code, it's not a language, so this wouldn't apply.
It's less a code per se as much as it is a book. It's written in English, but if I was the best at English I'd finally understand it. Speak every language. I've always wanted to speak T-Rex.
Maybe if you speak its ancient tongue you'll be able to find one to actually use your talent on.
T-Rex plays a mean guitar though. Metal Guru is a banger.
I speak whale.
When was the last time you talked to Dory?
Ooh. That's tough. Speaking every language would be so amazing. Because you could communicate with literally anyone. You could talk to anyone on the whole planet. And I bet you could also get a fantastic well-paid job with that skill. But I don't like people all that much. I'd find it much more personally satisfying to be able to play any instrument. How amazing it would be, to be able to express myself with any instrument that exists. You could also be a musician, and that would be way better for me than being an interpreter. So I'd have to go with that.
What instrument do you think you'd play first?
Probably the piano. I've always wished I could play.
Well, there you have it. Comment down below of what you think about today's episode. Leave a like if you like the video, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching and have a great day ahead.